Yeah. Yeah, that would happen, wouldn't it? That would happen. That would happen. I get everything prepared for a live stream and it's like, oh no. Oh no, you want to play Minecraft? Got to restart your browser? Got to restart your game. Thank you for the bananas in chat. The bananas mean that we're live on the twitch.tv/theassumer. That's where we're playing the Minecraft. That's where you're watching it. You already knew. You already knew. Let's try again. Let's hope that my session hasn't been invalidated. And we're in. We're in. We are in. Welcome. Welcome. Tasty Jazz Vibe is here for 4 months. Thank you so much for your support. Appreciate it. Thank you for that subscription. Bam, there's that noise. Straight Confusion coming in with a subscription as well. The old Amazon Prime. We've got a little bit of a job to do. I've still got food in my mouth. You know, not like I'm chewing on it. Hang on, give me 1 second. Right, just needed to wash my mouth out with some water. I had a kiwi. Sometimes the kiwi or the little hairs on it just kind of like get left behind in your mouth a little bit. Yeah, that's the little job that I need to do, right? I just need to put those in there. Job done. Well done, me. I got loads of little things I need to do at the moment. I don't even know where to start. I read somewhere that apparently the Arctic is on fire. What are your thoughts? It sounds like you're being trolled. The Arctic on fire? It's a pretty hard place to set on fire, you know. Yeah, we won't do a lot of tidying away. In fact, I'm not really going to bother tidying away much more. This isn't exactly entertaining. I've been looking forward to streaming all day, peeps. I always do. I look forward to it, counting it down, figuring out, you know, Mr. Organised over here. Figuring out when I'm going to be doing what. We're right on time. And I need to look at my list of jobs. We're doing errands. We've got loads to do. I need to make an enchanting table and make a load of books. And bookshelves. That is a very good sight. Also over here we got leather galore. We got more leather than we know what to do with. Let's check out those noises. Emily Kins with the Prime blind nickname of 4578 for 23 months. Puzzle Freck for 31. Barrett Chunk subscribing. Nebula 1 for 3 months. Hope your week's awesome. LPM2 is fantastic. Glad you are enjoying it. I've been popping on there and spying on people. That's what I do. I just teleport around and see what the peeps are up to. Looks like people are enjoying it. Kanye Play is here for 3 months. Phantom Carito for 13. Menzenko 0 subscribing. Oanagos for 7 months. I just watched the good old Amplified season of Hermitcraft, season 3. I wish we had done Amplified again. I really want to do something customized with terrain on Hermitcraft. Next season, you know, might be the one. There's so many options. There's so many things available. Let's use Jungle here. Jungle's my one of excess, let's say. Here I am, trying to read all the noises in me here, and we get a sub bomb. How am I supposed to keep up? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We got XD Pretzel with the Prime, Wiki Oliver for 3 months. We got Official Jaden for 3 months. Anthony 7936 with the Prime, Ducky XY13, and Anonymous is here, gifting those subs, 10 of them. Hexagon Nico, 1 Mika 2020, I am Joel, Evac C or Eva HC, DFZ Spike 1302, All Out J, Pale Nighthawk, NPC Chris, Odamaim. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. You've all been gifted subs thanks to Anonymous. Anonymous, I'm a big fan of the poetry, love it. I can't believe how much you managed to write. I can't believe how many years you've been writing it for. Jeez, how old are you? Several hundred years old? Jeez. Okay, that joke's dead in the water. That one's been beaten to death, right? Is that the expression? Beaten to death? Sounds so cruel. Sounds so cruel. Right, we need some obsidian, for which we have obsidian farms. And we need some diamond. I don't know why I'm putting a slight accent on it, you know? Maybe I'm just... Oh, jeez, I've got a lot of... got a lot of diamonds back here. I was spending them from my chest thinking, I got a lot of diamonds. Now I found out I got some more. Is it 2? Yeah, I always forget which way around this works. That is way more than I need. I need 8. And I'm going to take another 1, 2, 3, 4. You shouldn't really need ever more than that for this season. And what will I be using it for? Well, you're about to find out. The mystery will be solved. We need to put them in this block here. Block, we need to put them in this box. And in another one as well, this one over here, which has probably some stuff I don't really need, like scaffolding. Let's take a little bit of scaffolding and chuck it back over here. Cool stuff, cool beans. The Gilly, or I'm going to call you the Eggly, is here with Cheers and Bits saying LPM2 has been really dope. So good to hear. It's certainly been looking awesome from what I've seen. Glad you're enjoying it. Thank you for the Cheers and Bits. Rpod Onogo is here for 4 months. Terraforming is subscribing. Cloeson for 6 months. Matthew Hardiment, thank you so much for your Prime. Kalia K. Mioak. Oh, jeez, I'm definitely butchering these names. Armored Monkey for 26 months. Thank you for your subscriptions. GamerZone53 for 9 months as well. Tier 3 right there. Tier 3 subscriber. You can sign up to play on LPM2. LPMT2, I always go to say. Yeah, using your tier 3 subscription, you can go to assumavoid.com, left side of your screen, click on get whitelisted. You can use your Twitch to hook it up to our whitelist and play on there today. That goes in that spot. We got J Dream Mix here with the Cheers and the Bits, saying X, hope you're having a great day, love your streams, you're a huge motivator for me. Thank you for that lovely message, dude. Hope you're having a good day as well. I've had a good day, very productive, very on point today, you know. Like, woke up, made a list of things I needed to do when I needed to do them, just been cracking on with that all day. Right, so, do I need to do more than that? Like, I feel like I need to do more than that. I actually don't. I just literally needed to craft that stuff up. I could probably do with some books. Probably more than that. So, what I'll also do is just make another stack of books. And then we should be good in the hood, homie. We should be good in that hood. We'll also chuck these into here. Yeah, this is the chest where these things will belong for the moment. Very cool. My brain keeps wanting to make rhymes. Like, very cool. Don't be a fool. You know, like, shut up, brain. Shut up, brain. What are you doing? Okay, you know, we'll keep these. That I don't need with me right now. That's for a project I'm working on. That's for a super duper top secret sneaky project. We've got official Jaden here with Cheers and Bits saying, hello Shishwami, how are you today? Got a cup of tea. Really enjoy your streams and throwing bits here. Every stream I catch. Thank you, my friend. I have a cup of tea. Thank you for the reminder. You know, it needs about another 10 minutes, then it's ready to drink. It's also a double brew. We've got 2 tea bags. I know, I'm breaking all the rules. I'm a rebel, right? I'm a rebel. We're going to go work on something. Aha. I need... Oh, I'm going to have loads of it there already. Yeah, no, I'm going to be absolutely fine, I think. Although I do feel like... Shouldn't I have a shulker box with a bunch of white concrete in already? There might be a bunch over here. Anyway, it's not a big deal. I just made a bunch the other day. I guess, well, you know, there you go. That's what I'm looking for. That is what I'm looking for. And now we shall head to another area. We're just gonna try and bang out loads of different jobs today. Okay. I got a list. We're gonna do stuff. We got Dolan Ellis here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Dolan, thank you so much for your subscription. It is appreciated. We have Rosie Emily with the Prime and Lactacid, or Lactade actually. It doesn't say acid. Lactade 131. Thank you for your Prime. We've got a donation here from Cooper V. Saying, what other boss do you think should be added to Minecraft? I wish there was more challenges and progression in the game. Hey, do you know what? I think there is a lot of stuff in this game that is challenging, but it's not lined up in a very linear tech tree, right? Which is both good and bad. But to add another boss, I think they should. I think there was this mob they were going to add once. That was, I think it was supposed to be a block in the world that would like move around. I think they should do something like that with a boss. They should make a boss that can sort of like become a block. Don't know why, that just sounds like a cool mechanic, right? We need mechanic. Hey, it looks like I left a hole up there where the bee is. That's kind of weird because I kind of remember fussing over that to make sure that didn't happen. Yeah, like if we're gonna add another boss, maybe it could come with a whole new dimension, right? Now that, I'm sure everyone would be like, yeah, new dimension. Who wouldn't want a new dimension? But yeah, the game isn't sort of structured to be too demanding of following a strict tech tree. So if you're all about like getting to the end of the game, there's so many ways you can cheese it in this game, right? And just get like netherite gear easily. There's lots of little shortcuts and tricks. We need a boss for the Bane of Arthropods to be better. That's not a bad idea. You know, and if it's blocky and if it's like a little insect-like creature, you could quite easily make up some lore to explain that that would be the enchantment to use it with, right? I really like the idea of giving more enchantments value, because then, you know, more reasons to do stuff, just to explore the different crevices of the game. You can do that stuff of your own volition, is that the right word? But, you know, usually you want some form of progression to motivate you. Thank you for that donation, by the way. Interesting question. We got 8SO here with some cheers and bits saying, do you read Asuma Says comments? Yeah, I go on there and read them. And I really like the tone that we've achieved in the comment section on Asuma Says. It's very civil, and people, I notice when they perhaps disagree, they kind of preface that their disagreement isn't, you know, mean-spirited or anything like that. It's so easy online to read comments, and as soon as there's any form of disagreement, like, it can be so easy just to interpretate them negatively. So when I go onto that channel and read the comments, I do try my very best to make sure that I'm, like, you know, reading these things right, giving people the benefit of the doubt, and assuming the best intention from their comments, but it feels like that's already being reciprocated through the tone of like the discussions we have on there, which really actually pleases me. That's what I'm trying to promote and foster on the internet, is more civility, more listening to one another and respecting each other's opinions. And we're doing that on that channel, it feels like, and you know what? It won't last. Well, it might do, who knows? Like, the bigger a channel gets, the more likelihood the comments are to sort of divulge and become detached. I read my comments on my main channel, and so often do people talk as if I'm not there or ever going to be there. Just reading their comments, and it's like, Asuma won't read this, but if you see it, blah blah blah, and it's like, hey, these are my comments. And that's just because of the nature of YouTube, right? Like, what it's turned into. It's like, no one actually expects YouTubers to read in their comments, but I bet you, not just me, I bet you lots do. And so, you know, when a community is smaller, like it is on Asuma Says, you tend to notice that the comments are more engaged, and then as they get bigger, those voices that come in and don't realise that there's actual like back and forth and a community there, they tend to come in and drown out people that are, you know, actively participating. And I'm talking a little bit from experience there. I've seen that sort of happen on my own channel, seen it happen on other people's channels as well. I used to read comment sections on other people's channels sometimes because they had a cool community or whatever, and then you just see it change over time as the channel gets bigger. It seems like the bigger the channel, the assumption is there's less involvement, so it might not stay that way forever, but I would certainly like it to. It's just harder to read comments when you have thousands of viewers, says Ethox. Kind of. I mean, at the end of the day, what it's harder to do is to read all the comments, but you can still read them. I mean, the way that YouTube has changed, there used to be a time when I would like sit and read comments for quite a long time. I would really enjoy it and read lots of them. I feel like I got valuable feedback, but today there's less and less feedback on my main channel. It's just more, you know, people leave nice comments and well wishes, but they're also left, I think, with the idea that perhaps I won't see them. And then there's also a lot of comments that like to gamify getting thumbs up, so that degrades the value of what's possible in the comment section. But yeah, still able to read comments, of course, just less likely to find the stuff of value, it feels like. Right, noises in the air. We got Scow127 with the Prime. Asphere for 14 months. Astronomy was taken with the Prime. Rich Ship with the Prime. Captain Pug07 with cheers and bits. Thank you so much, dude. No message with that one. Music Peril 96 with the Prime. Licking Hot Dog for 3 months. And Dew Night for 8 months. We've got Show240 for 2. And Sorrel the Soul for 7 months. Appreciate it. What other comment-related thoughts do all of y'all have? I'm looking at our Twitch chat, which is kind of like a comment section. Licking hot dog lol, says Eugenie. Yeah. Oh. Do you watch MCC? Don't know what MCC is. It's also like, you know, if you're going to ask someone if they're into something and you use the abbreviation, good chance if they don't know, they'll have even less of a clue. Because, you know, it could just mean Minecraft community or something, right? Or it could mean Marvel Comics, I don't know. What do you think of Tango's new game? It looks good. It looks really good. I mean, there's a lot to take in. And I think one will have to acquaint themselves a lot with the game. But very looking forward to it. HollyCade01 is here with the Prime. And Fox Esper is here with a donation saying, Hey X, we just created a small Hermit-like server. And it starts in 2 hours. I'm a bit nervous because I've gotten assigned with admin duties. And I have not much of an idea what to do. No IT background whatsoever. Any tips, please? I would say if you've got no background in IT and you're the admin of the server, I mean, I don't know how you got it set up and running, but that kind of sounds like potential for you to run into things that are going to be issues. I can't really give you much advice that's generalized there. If you've got little experience, well, you know, seek it out, do some research. Get out there and read articles and Google and all of that, because there's so many things you can encounter as an admin. And if you've got no experience and you're the admin, then you know, maybe best thing to do is to tell people to have some patience with you and be transparent to the rest of your community. Like, transparency is really important, you know, because most of us have good intentions, and sometimes when things go wrong, if you're not transparent, if you try and cover things up, for example, like, you can set a bad precedent where there doesn't need to be one. So I would say also be transparent with your server mates, let them know the situation, because you won't want to incidentally frustrate some of the others in your community. Let's see how we can make this pillar fit in a little more. Feels like that works actually, that's kind of okay. Could even create more of a box shape there as well. And it's up there that I want to put the banners saying TBE. This is actually the worst place. What I could put there is another face. I could put the phantom face there. And I didn't bring my colour blocks with me. Because... wait a minute, this should... this is even. Odd. Wait, what am I talking about? I know what's going on. It's 8 blocks wide. The room is 9 blocks wide because it pushes past this wall. So... yeah. I'm going to go look up the phantom texture quickly, because I remember that having an interesting face. Let's type it in. Where are we at? Apparently mobs is short for mobile. Never knew that. In all my years playing, didn't realise. The Phantom is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 7 wide. It's like an even one. I'll have a quick flick while I'm here. Any other small faces that would fit in that space? Not really. Not really. That's kind of it. I mean, I could have put the sheep face there, but there isn't another. The bat is like got the worst texture. I could possibly put the bat in, but it's got the worst texture. People are saying a turtle. We've discussed the turtle before. The front of a turtle's face is literally nothing but green. So I think just looking over this, unless I want to put in like a shulker's face, pale yellow, that's kind of doable. I'm not sure if it's 5 or 6 blocks wide. I think we'll pass. Or I could put in a silverfish. We're going to pass just because it feels like nothing really does quite fit. Okay, let's get all my stream stuff back on track. Right, so we got noises in the ear, we got PVT backflip with cheers and bits, and look into my eyes, what do you see? Look into these eyes, eh? Into these eyes right here. Oh jeez, you're looking inside of my head now. Oh, that was unpleasant. Backflip, thank you so much for the cheers and bits, dude. Sporty Amp is here for 4 months. Dash here with a donation saying, how you doing today? I'm doing great, thanks for asking. All is good in the hood, homie, you know? All is good in that hood. Peeps are saying parrot. On the wiki, the parrot has a side-on face. I believe that's because it's got no eyes on the front. That'd be my guess. Anyway, don't worry about it, peeps. We'll move on. So we got through 2 of the things in my list really quick. Like really, really quick. And what do I want to do next? I know what I want to do next. I know exactly what we're going to do next. I should also really keep track of everything I'm doing. I'm going to make a note. Where's my notes for today? Okay, we're going to head over to the minigame area. And I don't think it has a portal, you know. Actually, do you know what? It kind of does. I'm going to show you what it has. Woo, I love flying through here. It's got this. Sky __ here with the prime. Slower here for 12 months. That's a whole year. We got Seetical. I have probably butchered your name, my friend. Thank you for your subscription. Okay. I'm probably going to end up in the ends, but let's try this. Oh, pro skills. Pro skills. We're here. We're here. Roundone 20 with the prime, and official Jaden is gifting a sub to Poggy Woggish. Thank you for gifting that sub, dude. Very kind of you to do so. Appreciate it. Right, over here at our Basalt Delta. Do you know what I was thinking I should probably do, actually? Is rather than make this thing like a volcano, is around the back area, is to actually like merge it up to the next platform. Because otherwise I feel like it would not look as good from afar. So around these sides, the basalt could go up a little bit and connect with yet like another platform. That's something we might do. But what we've got to do over here is actually focus on like finishing up. I say finishing up, there's still a bit of work to do around here, but mostly decorating stuff, right? Like there's things that I can and can't do on stream. One of the things I can't do on stream is here we go. Put that in there. Is probably do all the technical stuff, right? Lick Lup is here with a prime. Thank you, Lick Lup. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. So yeah, we're going to do some decoration over here, basically. How did y'all like the concept of this game? Let me know. And also, I've got to start figuring out what textures we're going to use around here. So far, some positivity. Mostly people are loving it. That's cool. That's good. Now, I've already got some ideas on how to make it more complex and interesting. This is just like the beginning step here. Good cup of tea. I tell you what, it's really strong. I decided to put a double brew in, and I can tell you what, I feel it straight away. Now, what mixes with basalt? We've got regular basalt here. Polished basalt is what... Do you know what? I might actually make it have like a cave feel. Maybe if we stick to using some basalt, we can give this thing a cave feel in here. At least maybe for this part. And then down here we'll go with something a little more structured. I don't know, it kind of makes sense as well, that you're under the basalt. So maybe just going with basalt Do you know what I didn't do before heading over here? I didn't even think about stuff I might need. A very important thing to do in this game is just to think ahead a little bit. Now I've just got to fly back to my base. But luckily it's just over there. Okay, let's glide gracefully back. We got noises in the air. We got Oskabuto with the Prime. Snoopy Squad is here with the Prime as well. Thank you to the both of you. Appreciate it. Dead Coral. Or Crimson Stem. Maybe we could put a little bit of Crimson in there. The trick is to get in that rocky feel, but also make it feel a little structured. I've got a feeling Polished Basalt will help us with that. Let's go check it out. Check it out. Man, is that like from a song or something? I feel like I'm hearing the beginnings of a song in my head all of a sudden. Okay, we're going to bring all this blackstone with us. And some other nethery textures, I guess. Why not? Why not, I say? Polished andesite. Very structural. We got noises in the ear from Remolos TV with the Prime, and we got Mr Pepis subscribing, and Anthem1X is here with cheers and bits. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it. Alpenglowup says you're hearing the beginning of a Ellie Beatmaker remix of you. Am I? I don't remember a song like that. Man, maybe I missed one. Maybe I missed one. Apparently we got 6,000 viewers tuning in. Well, thank you, everyone. Appreciate you coming by. I'm continuously blown away by the amount of people tuning in. It is bonkers. Certified bonkers. And today, the plan is to do errands. So we're not going to stick in one place for too long. I've kind of got stuff to do all over the place. We've already done a couple of jobs, which is good. Getting loose ends tidied up and all that kind of action, you know. So in this area, let's have a little look at, if we actually just rip out the stone, we've already got our natural shape kind of in place here, right? And thinking about how we can just get carried away with this, like we can, you know, leave some of these elements kind of as is. Right, maybe even do that lets light through, and there's lava next to it, so that might act as like a light source inadvertently. We could also possibly do with some twisting vines hanging down in and around here. So look at that, natural cave shape going on here with the ceiling, which is great. So that's like, you know, rather than building, I'm just pulling out blocks and it's doing the job for me. Not everywhere. We've got to smack my head. I've got a feeling that this has just been built like that. Yeah, look, just for the front area where I'm measuring things out, so we can actually pinch a few more blocks away from here. We don't want them going into that hopper. Yeah, we don't want that. Okay, so when it comes to structure here, let's check out some polished basalt and let's just see how it feels to use it in the area. I kind of like this ridge we've got going on, so let's pull it in this direction. Hey, we got a big old sub bomb dropping in. My goodness me, that's huge. Jeez. Jeez Louise, right. I could do. These will have to be stair blocks. I think we're going to go with some blackstone stairs around here. Now, it's weird that it's on its side. It is weird that it's on its side. I think maybe standing them all up would make sense. Hey, Asuma, do you think your my minigame could come with DLC? I love the idea of introducing DLC on Hermitcraft. Someone should tell that to Tango. That would just be hilarious. To like add an expansion pack. We want that block. A little bit better. Little bit better. Kind of feel like we need this to tell a structural story at the same time, right? I think I'm gonna have to change this. I sort of really don't want to, but You know, it might not be the worst thing ever. It sort of shows you where the entrance is as well. That ending just there kind of feels fine to me. Nothing wrong with that. Let's try over here. So we've kind of carved this into the rock. That's fine from there, really, isn't it? It's not a big deal. Might look a little nicer if we have a regular basalt on top. Right, let's read some noises in that eardrum. My eardrum, specifically, and yours, because you can hear what I can hear. We have a sub-bomb dropping in. We got Riot Trov, 97 with the Prime. We got Ray Rooney with the Prime. Shark Turn Up. And Eerie Eyes for 9 months. And we've also got Stray Confusion gifting 20 subs. My goodness me, Stray. Thank you so much for supporting our community with that massive sub-bomb right there. That is some good tea. Very strong tea. DLC is downloadable content, person in chat. Right, the Maester 8, Bad Captain, Rorik's Rec Room, DrBuddhaDBS, Merlot, Ethan Knowles, Scovez07, Tyker Etro, Nathan Prunty, Mr. Raiskin, Lol Cry, Peter Durr 72, Unbreakable 661, tullemat, Matt 96, Tio, Regiman 282, Luminous Pandora, Nettle _ Misty Cow, and Jedi Sentinel. All been gifted subs. Thank you, Stray Confusion, ever so much. Your support is appreciated, and quite a few regulars getting some gifted subs there as well. That's always cool to see, isn't it? Okay, so now I'm feeling like we want to mirror this here. Obviously, no, we're not with that block. Obviously, we want to mirror this here. Okay, this is where we could actually go down a little bit here, couldn't we? Keep that whole formation field going. Put you there, that there, this over here, some of them, some of these, some of those. Some of them, some of these, some of those, right. And then it will continue through that space. So just looking into this area, you can kind of see, right, we need to put a couple of blocks here. And this is where I think we need to introduce some blackstone. I don't actually want to use polished blackstone, you know. I think that texture's got this awkward shade of purple to it that just kind of ends up kind of dominating the vibe a little bit when you use it. Like, if you want to mix that with other ones, it's got to really match that purple tint. That can be a little bit tricky. Although I haven't spent a crazy amount of time trying to build, you know. So we're going to go with the bricks and that on top. And it'll make that button pop, but we might change the button as well. So for now, that's covering up some redstone, right? Kind of means that we need all of this stuff here to participate in the same job. I'm going to do this from down below, right, like that. Yeah, that's working. That's really working. Just going to close that in a bit. Yeah, nice cave feel. Now, I was thinking about using some blackstone down the bottom here and using blackstone stairs, but I feel like actually let's avoid that. Let's bring in a colour. Now, the arena colour's orange. If we had orange stairs, I'm in a cha-cha wood, right? But I feel like we need to use something neathery. So what's going to look good? Which type of wood? Do I even have any of the wood with me? Probably not. Probably got to make another trip, I'll assume. You are so prepared. You know what you're doing when you live stream. You bring all the things you're going to need with you. Do I now? No. No. Thank goodness for wings and rockets. Music's so loud, says Tim Locks. Let me just turn it down a nudge. I love this bit right here, though. This is my favourite bit. Alright, we got Willie or Willie Not. With cheers and bits saying, hey, Asuma. Wait, what way did I go? Oh, right, okay. We hadn't really got too far yet. Hey, Asuma, I was feeling gutted over the news of Grant Imahara of Mythbusters and White Rabbit projects having recently passed on. And this stream is putting me in a much more cheerful mood, or is, at the very least, giving me a temporary distraction from the sadness, whichever it is. Thanks for giving my mind something positive to focus on. Yeah, I don't know who Grant is, but in a very interconnected world, there are often people we know through media, through TV shows, through movies, and yeah, as you get older, those names, they just seem to come around faster and faster, you know, it's crazy. Like, you accumulate these names, all these people you know through television and whatnot, and it's sad, of course, but it's a part of life. But thank you so much for your cheers and bits, dude. If this is a welcome distraction, then let's welcome it. And yeah, I don't. I think I know what color I'm gonna go with already. I think I know. It's gonna be this color. I don't think I'm gonna use any fence hose because I was building with this one earlier today. So now I want a reason to build with the other one, right? In which case we're gonna bring some extra of these just in case we end up using it a lot. Cool. Yeah, thank you again, Willie. Appreciate it. Echo Wolf 0 here for 7 months. We've got Toto Buy here with the cheers and the bits. No, sorry, just with a regular subscription. Jeez. My mouth is like autopilot sometimes. Love your content. Love you as a person. Thank you for the constant uploads. No problem, dude. Thank you ever so much for your support. Yeah, across my free channels, there's like literally a video every day. It's crazy. 03 April 91 is here with the Prime. I mean, that's a birth date right there. And Monty Mole 3 is here with the Prime as well. Thank you so much. It is appreciated. Someone asking if they put crafting tweaks in the data pack folder. Yeah, you do. Maybe we should try and make that more clear, because it's, you know, it is a data pack. It's just we've classified it differently as a crafting tweak. We might have to investigate that a little bit. It might make more sense to put crafting tweaks in a. Actually, I'm gonna write that down, because they were separated for a reason to begin with, and I think it was just because they were clearly two different types of thing. But now we can separate the categories on data packs, it might make sense to separate them. Right, so let's go ahead and rip out some of these blocks right here. Looks like I'd already put stone stairs in. Very good. Whoopsie did oopsie. Let's do that. Right, so this is going to be our other colour. It's not going to look nice next to the orange. There's no doubt about that. But once you're inside here, is that the wrong height? It's actually not, but we need one there. Ha. Okay. And I feel like maybe the. Yeah, I've got an idea. Okay, let's grab some tools. We need some tools to do some things. Like slicing the wood. That's kind of alright. I like the way it's highlighted in the middle a little bit. It's kind of alright. I wish the top bit here was just a little bit softer. Then it'd be awesome. Okay, how about those noises in the ear? We got Mr. Chidoke with the Prime. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. Are we being raided? I see a message saying there's a raid. Now I'm staring at chat thinking I'm an idiot missing a raid. Raid? Question marks, is Randy? I saw a message about a raid, but maybe not. Maybe not. I'll keep an eye. I'll get the thing in my eardrum. We got Boric Oxide 3274 for 2 months saying, hey, Sumo, I thought I'd drop by to say hello before I run some errands. Awesome, dude. I mean, this is a stream about errands right here. Thank you so much. We got Deal KA97. Thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate it. Appreciate it ever so much. Now chat is just nothing but discussion about this raid. It was just one message probably, and I was like, oh no, and then maybe it wasn't anything. Don't worry about it, we'll see if we have a proper raid. Oh, oh, what's this about? What is this about? Okay, so I kind of want to keep the cave going, right? I think we can do that nice and easy. Let's go 1, 2, 3 down to here where it starts to flatten out. Bring this pillar upwards, and then it's from here that we're going to break away from exposing the natural cave. Then we'll be doing things differently. We got TV Gooserip here with the Prime. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Polished basalt is like wood. Polished basalt is like wood. I'm not sure if it's like wood, but it's got this like purple tint that just pops out so much. How often do you answer questions, says Monty Mole. You know, like, I answered yours. That's how often. I don't know. You know, whenever I'm reading chat, usually things are questions, right? Usually these things are questions. Okay, we had a little bit of blackstone in this area. Let's actually kind of pull it around. Put some things here, put some things there. Knock out some of these blocks. Oh no! The mining, it's too fast. Put it back. Okay. Ugh, clicking is so delicate now. So I think what I'm going to do is pull a few of these things around. Maybe down there. Make it feel like it's a big old cluster of these blocks. Lol, delicate clicking. It's got to be delicate, you know? If you hold down click for too long, you're in trouble. Do you know what? I'm going to leave that one there, because I might break something, right? Oh, jeez! Okay, there we go. Now, here's the other bit. Like, there's a roof. Actually, I feel like that's probably it. You kind of need something going across. Perfect. And then you got the roof of the area down below. So here, I actually feel like the way to go is probably to do that. Kind of looking alright. Kind of looking alright. Now we've got to hide some other inconsistencies around here. We're definitely going to need to rip this out to some extent. Build in some shape, you know. So put you there. I want all of them to face up, just like they generate in a real basalt delta place thing. We need to keep that. So that all needs to be like that. And then I think we're looking at the shape of the blocks that we're just going to shuffle. I could put a magma block there and it could let some sunflight. Let some sunflight through, people. Let some sunflight. Oh. The quality of this stream is just... It's just... You can't beat it. Okay? You can't beat it. We got a Noise in the Ear subscription here from MusicMan1017 and a donation from Billy YN saying you should add the original ice textures to the Vanilla Tweaks site. The old ones are so much better, just a preference. Love Vanilla Tweaks either way, just a suggestion. Just a suggestion. Let's see, dude. Let's see. Old ice texture. It might already be on there, right? There's a whole retro section. I will suggest it. But remember, the team... Wait, it doesn't even let light through anymore. Like, they changed this about this block. That's blocking the light coming through, isn't it? Oh, Mojang. Where was this in a changelog? I'm actually going to put, like, a bit more of this in here now. Because it's really quite nice. To give this thing a bit more depth, let's go ahead... No. All must face up. Got it. Got it. That's actually really nice the way that works. Yeah. We kind of got it going. I feel like I want to see a little bit more of that pillar there, which can be achieved, or can it? Because there's outsidey blocks there. Outsidey blocks. Boom. Gonna jump on there. Gonna put that up by one. Put this up by one here, and then put that down by one. Weird how just one little block can make a lot of difference sometimes. Okay, now we've got to focus on how this gets chipped away at as it comes down. Jest Trexo, thank you for your Prime subscription. Appreciate it. Selena Opal says, I sent a banana bread recipe over Twitter. Have you tried it yet? I didn't see that. I did not see that. I also... I don't know. I'll have to see the recipe. Like, I'm immediately thinking, I'm not that good a cook. But I guess I should see the recipe first and then see what I think. I think I said it last time. I tend to avoid eating bread. In fact, Sunday had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for the first time in months. Oh, did I enjoy it. Did I enjoy it. Do we want to talk about food for a minute? Do we want to talk about food? Because I'm on a new diet. I'm in my second day of it. I think what I'm going to do, although this will probably change, because I was kind of thinking I'm always Mr. Structured with everything, right? I always like to be super structured with stuff. And I was thinking what I might do is just play it day by day by ear. But I think what might work for me, because I'm going to cut again, is doing 2 days of proper solid cutting. Day in the middle, just eat normal. 2 days, and then the weekend, eat normal. But after going 2 weeks of just eating pretty much what I'm burning, and maybe, yeah, probably a bit more than that as well. You know, I realised, like, you cook with oil, and oil's got quite a lot of fat in it, so throwing in some extra calories big time there. Anyway, today and yesterday, eating about 2,500 calories, 180 grams of protein, and intermittent fasting. So today it was like 19 hours between eating, and like I'm trying to hit everything in like a 7-hour window. And just gonna, you know, I'll fatigue myself if I do too much of that kind of like solid fasting, right? So just gonna do that for 2 days, then have something a little less extreme, maybe only cut like a couple hundred calories, and then do 2 more days of that. 750 I think was my deficit. Anyway, so that's some pretty intense stuff right there. And so it means all my meals are a lot more lean now. So I haven't really been eating anything interesting. I mean, other than the usual. Although I did have a nice dish with fish today. Cooked the fish in soy and smoked paprika. Man, that tastes nice. Definitely doing that combination again. Doesn't it even sound nice? Bro, make sure you ain't starving yourself, says Josh. I know what I'm doing. I've done this a lot. I'm definitely cutting it about as lean as you should do, but that's why I'm only going to do it 2 days at a time, and then have like a day to kind of eat a bit more and not cut it too close. It's easy to look at like 1 day at a time and think that that's everything, but realistically, like, all the calories you're consuming, all that stuff kind of adds up over several days, right? So if you hardly eat 1 day but you catch up the next, that's kind of alright. You can get away with that. You know, you don't want to do it too often, but you'll be alright. If you're gonna cut calories every day and cut a lot, then you run the risk of doing it unhealthily. So you kind of want to give yourself those kind of like catch-up days, if you like. Although I'm not exactly catching up on them, I'm just having a day where it's not so strict. It's essentially what I'm doing. We've got a noise in the ear from Polymorphic Variable. Wow, what a username. I like that one. Thank you so much for subscribing, dude. Appreciate it. I'm stuck on rapid weight loss for surgery, so can only have 900 calories a day, says Bug Dream. I hope you're doing that with the advice of a medical professional, because that does sound extreme. But, you know, if you're having a medical procedure, then there's probably, I mean, don't listen to me, like there's going to be good reasoning behind a decision like that, because that is pretty extreme. But how many days for as well? Like, if you're doing it for 1 or 2 days, you'll probably be all right in the long run, I imagine. But like I said, hopefully you're doing that with the advice of a medical professional, not just something you read. But I'm assuming that's so, because you're going for surgery, right? You know, under-eating is a thing, right? Like, it's easy to look at overeating in this day and age, but under-eating can be a problem as well. Kiwi Fruit says intermittent is great for weight loss. You should look into, I think it's called the 5-2 method, where you eat 2 days normal week and set a fasting period for the other 5. That sounds interesting. I mean, it's all structure, right? Like, the thing with intermittent fasting is you're essentially eating less and eating in a shorter window of time, so your metabolic stress is rather different, right? Like, you could eat the same amount that you do on intermittent fasting and spread it all out. Like, it's a tool for getting things done, essentially. So all these different ways of structuring it. Oh, this is annoying when this happens. You're essentially just finding different strategies to do the same thing. It's about like finding what works for you as an individual. So I guess I'm kind of doing a little bit of that. I'm sort of doing like a 4.5 to a 2.5, I guess. Carb cycling is a great way to lose weight, says Skatey. I've never done carb cycling. I don't really know what it is. Low carb, low fat diets, never really, the ones that I tried or half-assed tried, never really found much of a difference from trying, you know, those strategies. Thing is, I'm very active, and like you need glycos, right? So like I can feel what it's like in my body to burn fat. Like the run that I did today was a fat burning run. It just feels different from doing stuff after you've eaten. And so I can really like tell how my body like uses different energy sources, but like I don't feel like I need to shift my diet to just use one. Why do you diet, X? Says I'm a weird too. You know, when I talk about diet, like the conception of why do you diet, as in why do you go on a diet, the way I look at diet is, and this is what it is, you're always on a diet. Diet is the word to describe what you consume. What is your diet? It's what you're eating. So you can have an unhealthy diet. If you eat McDonald's every day, you've got a McDonald's diet. Like, diet is simply what you're eating. When I talk about diet, I'm talking about taking control, thinking it through, having a strategy, making sure I'm eating healthily. That is essentially what diet is for me. It's having more of a plan and being structured with it. This ain't gonna work. I want, even though no one's gonna wander around here and go, look at that! There's one block of polished basalt. What a terrible build! Like, I still have to make it entirely consistent. It has to be entirely consistent, peeps. Right, I think I'm gonna put some magma blocks around here somewhere. I don't want to put them in the exact same spot like we did on the other side, but they definitely need a little something. Maybe we'll put a bit of lava here, actually, like down at the bottom. Be kind of cool. Right, we got a noise in the ear from Gusty Shinobi here with a donation saying, first time watching stream. We still talking about food? What are your favourite snacks? Gutsy Shinobi, thank you so much for the donation, dude. Appreciate it. We also got Slester subscribing with Amazon Prime. Thank you. Yeah, I talk about food a lot, right? I enjoy talking about it because it's like a big part of my day. I mean, everyone deals with this stuff differently, right? Like, some people are super casual, just, oh, I feel hungry, now I'll go eat. But like for me, I have to like think everything through and be on top of it, and that's the way for it to be like healthy for me. So like, this is like a vent. Like, I get to just waffle about it, and that's good for me. So thank you for listening to X talk about food. I need it. You're helping me. Cheers. But snacks, you know, I don't really have snacks. I have meals because, like, snacking is kind of like, you think of it as spontaneous, right? And I don't spontaneously eat. I try to be very planned and thought through with what I eat, so I can hit my goals and whatnot. But like snacky types of food, I mean, like peanut butter and jelly sandwich, is that a snack? Because, boy, I love one of those every now and then. And I have little protein bars that are basically chocolate bars, and they're kind of like a snack, right? And I'll have those. Oh, do you know what? That's not going to look nice right next to that. I'm going to change that up. I have one of those protein bars pretty much like every day, and I keep telling myself I won't, but feel like I need that one thing sometimes. I guess that's how it's going to look right there. It's like that on the other side, so it's going to like a wall that's just going to have to be there. I'm going to have to hop over to the other side and figure out what we did for this next bit, right? That's how it goes, always hopping around. I think it was just 3 blocks again to the next pillar of polished. Stefan RBK for 13 months saying, did I miss the Mumbo prank again? Oh, you did. Sorry, mate. You know how we roll. We always do them at the beginning of the stream. We actually made Mumbo rage quit. As you'll see, he's no longer on the server. And I might have taken things a bit too far when I removed him from the whitelist, but you know. If he's going to react to a prank like that, I mean, that's just not acceptable, is it, you know? Just not acceptable. He got so mad, says Kaloia. I know, right? Like, there was no reason to get mad. It was a beautiful prank. Okay. Okay, it might have involved, you know, destruction and TNT, but he just couldn't appreciate the fact that blowing up his entire base was so absurd that it made it all worthwhile. How could he not see eye to eye with me on that? I don't understand, you know? I don't understand. If he came over and blew up my entire base, you know, I'd have to step back and go, what an incredible thing to do. Actually, now I think about it, I'd be really salty if he blew up my base. I'd be really salty about it. I'd be like, Mumbo, how could you do that? Anyway, it's no excuse for getting upset when we do a prank. Anyway. Let's, oh yeah, let's make more of this stuff, right? Okay, we got Henkel Max here for 29 months. Thank you so much, Henkel. Appreciate it as always, dude. Boom. Wait, I went over to the other side to find out what height it was, and then it was like, oh. Okay, it's kind of like level with that. You know, often like when I'm building and I have to walk back to measure something, like I'm streaming right now, so you think that's an excuse, but no, I will forget just the simple, basic measurements. I have to really like nail it into my head. Something very simple to remember. This bit right here, you know. And if I'm fortunate enough to not mess that up, then all is good. Right. Let's get going with this stuff. I don't want to make it quite the same as the other side, but what we're going to do... Yeah, let's go down there. I think we need to put some lights somewhere around here as well, because stuff can potentially spawn, which we don't want, of course. Now, that has to be filled in because we're kind of like partitioning into a new area. It's essentially what we're doing here. Oopsie daisy. We also kind of need to partition things off behind this surface. Oh, I'm ruining it! The instant mine is too strong, I tell you. Too strong. Okay, hop up. Oh, I wanted to hop onto that. Yeah. Now I'm flying, apparently. Yeah. Thank you. Did you really blow up his base, says Monty Mole 3? Oh yeah, of course I did. Why wouldn't I blow up his base? Bit of a strange question. DrBuddhaDBS fan is here subscribing. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate it. Oh wait, Beef doesn't have any blaze rods. Couple stacks. Right, there we go. There we go. Looks like there was a bit more that needed filling in right behind it. Isn't that just typical? Yeah! Managed to jump up. Managed to make a really weird sound. Oh, that would have been brilliant. That was so doable. Oh, this is going to require some finesse right here. Oh, finesse! Absolute finesse. Hey X, does VB know about your prank? Who's VB? Vintage Beef. Oh, Beef. Right. VB. I don't... It's so obvious now, but I was like, who's that? Who is this mysterious VB? Okay. Oh, Mumbo's decided to log back in, eh? Eh? Thought you were never going to play again, Mumbo. That didn't last very long, did it? That didn't last very long. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that right there. Bringing on Mumbo as well. I see how it is. Okay, just wanted to break one block, why? Let's go like that. Oh, what, you transformation magic? What's going on there? Right, we haven't put any magma blocks over here yet, have we? Didn't I say something about putting a little lava lake down here? It might be a bit on the extreme side, but we'll do something rather small. Let's go like that. Have a 2-block thing there. Okay, I'm going to put that here. We need to actually tidy up this corner. And I haven't really built anything else over there yet, have I? One more of those. I guess I need to put something around here. And since you'll never see that 1 block, I'm going to leave it like that. Let's go grab 2 buckets of lava. We got noises in the ear. We got the RPG Gamer here for 2 months. We got It's Hector with the Prime, and Dash is here doing cheers and bits, saying, "Undereating is terrible. I had a lot of trouble with it, and my body still hasn't fully recovered yet. Even now, I'm eating well." Dude, keep at it, my man. Well done on sorting out your eating habits. Yeah, undereating is not a good thing. Not a good thing. Didn't I have like a box of lava buckets over here? Luckily for me, I got some in the old ender chest. Yeah, thank you for the cheers and bits, dude. I don't really know too much about undereating. Yeah, I don't know a crazy amount about overeating either, really. I've just had more experience with eating too much than too little. I've never had a problem with hunger. For me, it's always just been... I'm just always hungry, like all day long. It doesn't matter. Just sit me down, I'll eat something. So, it's good to have it under control. But yeah, keep at it, dude. Keep at it. Keep eating healthy. I love the cave so far, says Marquise. I'm probably butchering your name, but I'm trying my best. Yeah, I love this as well. We just came over here. Didn't have much of an idea of what was going to happen, but I feel like what's turned out is turned out pretty good. Oh, and I'm breaking all the wrong blocks again. All this accidental breakage. Right, we're going to put that in like that. Yeah, that'll do. And am I out of basalt? I'm out of basalt. Can you believe it? People are saying eat food. Well, I'll eat some of this chicken. Where did I get all that roast chicken from, eh? Where did I get all of that from? Selena Opal says, do you think Mumbo will prank you back? He's probably on his way to my base with a chest full of TNT right now, isn't he? What sports do you like, says Chaz? I kind of like sport in general. There's like a few sports I don't particularly enjoy watching, but I like watching sports in general. Football being my favourite. Don't like motorsports very much. Don't know why, just don't get much of a kick from it. I think I know what I want to do for lighting. Now, I really like the Soul Lantern, okay? Great texture, but because it emits less light, it kind of means you just end up using it in a less interesting way because it can only really be aesthetic. So when you want something functional, you need a proper light source. I actually think having these like... That's actually pretty cool. I was going to sort of put it on there, but I think if you hang it from the rock, it just... Yeah, it feels really nice like that, actually. I think it works because of the nature of the rocky layout, and it just makes you feel like someone's hung it there. You know, just reached up and put it on that spot. And it's not about, oh, it needs to be like right in the middle. So that's pretty cool. Chains, says Milky. We could use chains, but I feel like everything is kind of... How could I say it? Well, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, it just feels like maybe over there I could get away with hanging something off of a chain because it goes really high up, but kind of feels like it's in the right spot already. Let's put one. Put that there. So now everything should be really well lit up. The layout's pretty nice actually. The colour it doesn't blend massively well, and I just want to use the new colour, right? You know, if I swap this out for a different colour, we'd probably get a far better result, to be fair. What do you think, peeps? Should we stick with having a 1.16 colour, or should we refer to a different type of wood? Spruce wood would probably look alright down here. Now, I gave you 2 options, and I'm getting a lot more than 2 options back in chat. I'm getting use crimson, I'm getting stone bricks. Like either this colour or something like one of the other woods, but not crimson, is sort of what I was asking. What I should have gone is probably yes or no, or like made it very simple. Nether bricks. That's a really good suggestion. I might have a little bit of nether bricks to hand. I do. Like the teeniest, tiniest bit to sample as well. It's just going to work so much better, isn't it? I think I'm going to go with that. I think I'm going to go with that, peeps. And we might not have much in the way. Right. Here's where things get a little bit tricky. Do you know what? We might not stay here forever. I've got other errands to do, and I kind of wanted to not find myself getting stuck in one area for the whole episode. So we might move it on in a little bit. I think we'll do the nether bricks, and then we'll probably leave it at that. Maybe clear out a bit more area for the tutorial stuff, and yeah, we'll move it on. We can always come back if we do all the other stuff that needs to be done as well. So I think that's a good plan right now. Today I just wanted to get tons of stuff done and not be stuck in one area, you know. J4500 with the Prime. Betty Baghdadi here for 27 months saying, hey X, what's your favourite mathematical fact, if any? I love maths, and I am so bad at just like remembering interesting stuff. But I watch videos about it all the time, and I'm always fascinated by numbers and stuff. My favourite thing with numbers is like prime numbers. I just love the mysterious nature of them, how like no one's figured out a pattern or anything like that to do with them yet. A while back I was watching a video about someone who had made prime numbers look like they had a pattern by plotting them on this 3D sort of spherical path, and like the video I was watching deliberately opened it up with the suggestion that, hey, look what's been found with prime numbers, and then you're like, oh, someone solved it. But then they pivoted to sort of show you that actually you can plot any series of numbers and it will end up looking like a pattern using this system. And so it wasn't a pattern at all, which I thought was just very clever. Yeah, trying to sort of think of a fact, and not much is coming to mind, to be fair. Do you watch Numberphile? Yeah, I used to watch like every video of theirs religiously, but that was kind of like years ago. Aha! I do have nether bricks, and I got a lot of them. And we only need a few. That'll do. But yeah, there's just so many. Like on those Numberphile channels, they're just putting out all these really cool stuff that you can do with numbers, and it's very entertaining, but I don't really like remember anything specific, I guess, off the top of my head. JTB is here for 2 months saying, who do you support? Who do I support? Oh, probably referring to football. I'm a neutral. I just enjoy watching football. Wiggly Fox here for 5 months saying wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Thank you, Wiggly. Appreciate ya. We got JJ Gutman 9 with the Prime. Thank you, Gutman. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let's use the Shroomlight's kind of bold. Gotta use it at the right moment. Okay, we need like another block. Probably gonna go with. Do you want to use soul soil in here? That might end up blending in. Not sure. We'll find out. These blocks are very difficult to put into other palettes. They're very bold. I mean, I could have kept this here, right? And then it would just be like that fun, bold colour. But I kind of strive towards things having a little bit more balance, personally. Someone who's good at working with bold colours is Cubfan. I love the way he uses bold colours together in his builds. Yeah, it doesn't really draw your attention to it. I think maybe an unlit redstone lamp. It might. I can't remember how I powered the dispenser, but it might actually turn on when you get something, which would be doubly good. Redstone in his house. Let's go put down a couple of lamps. Oh, we got a noise in the ear from Freya Ebar for 5 months. Thank you so much for the Prime. We got A Burger 11 here with a donation saying thank you for the consistent quality content and for the occasional tackling such difficult topics. You've got a mature approach that old people like me appreciate and young people can look up to. You're a model YouTuber and your efforts are appreciated. Well, thank you very, very much for those kind words. I do appreciate it. And thank you for your donation as well. People are saying chiseled nether brick. I think that fits in so well that I'm going to keep it, but that's a great... Oh, actually, I like the idea it's going to light up, but you're right. Chiseled nether brick is probably a good shout. Thank you again, A-Burger. Yeah, I've been trying to work on a video for my Asuma Says channel, explaining like what my goal is with what I do. I've just been kind of like struggling to get the words out right. That kind of work. Why is it that like there's lighter texture all around those corners? It just makes it. It's got like a 3D cut into it. It almost looks like it's rising up a little bit. If you catch it from the right light, it works. If you look at it from this angle, it works. If you look at it from that angle, it looks odd. It's a shame you can't rotate that block. I think the lamp looks better, so Squishy. I'd agree. The lamp did look better, didn't it? I wear lactose. Here with the Prime, we got MLDG for 11 months. Thank you so much. Appreciating your support. The villager says, Asuma's struggling to get words out. What? Well, let's put it this way. Like, when I live stream, I can stop talking. Oh! Awkward silence! Oh! Oh, it was so awkward. Oh, my word. You know, like, if you think about what I'm saying when I stream, read noises in my ear, read something out of chat, fumble over my words every now and then, it's, oh, it's better like that. It's better like that. It's not very straightforward and coherent. When I record stuff for my Asuma Says channel, it's got to be like a train of consciousness that goes in one direction and stays on that track. So where I've been recording stuff, I've kind of been like articulating myself, but not enough to just straight talk for a whole video, right? So it's kind of like a skill I'm trying to adapt from learning how to live stream, is to be more articulate, be more on the train of thought with what I'm going to talk about, because it's different from streaming. So it's, you know, it might seem crazy, but like 2 hours of streaming is not 2 hours of talking about one topic and staying on a path and covering all the angles and bases, whereas when you do a video for that, it's like you've got to keep all those things in your mind and get through them one by one, and it can be quite tricky. So yeah, I've just been like working on something, recording it over and over again, and like each time it kind of makes a bit more sense what I'm saying, but it takes time. It's not that straightforward. Right, so do I want to use slabs down here? Why did I think I want to use slabs? I don't need to. This area is going to be nice and lit. It's lit, fam! Okay, sorry, I had to say that. And I don't know. I think we can leave it. I think we can leave this for now, and I'll figure this out at another time. But that is really, really nice setup that we got right here. And yeah, we'll move on from this project now. I feel like we did a really good job. And sometimes if you keep at it, you'll exhaust your creative energy. So we'll go do something else and tackle a different project. Sounded so professional then. DrBuddhaDBS here for 24 months, saying 730 days. That's let's read it from the back to the front. 17,000,005. Wait, am I getting this right? It's a lot of hours. How about that? How about that? I think it was 17 million. No, yeah, 17 million. Oh, whatever. That's a lot of hours to spend with a derp. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. I've got to do a little bit of math. Because 730 multiplied by 24 hours a day, 17,520. You put an extra 024 in the end. I don't know how that happened. But, yeah, no, 17,000. 17 million did sound odd. Did sound odd. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, we're good to just pack this away, pretty much. But you gotta think it through. Make sure you pack things away in the right order. Gotta be organised. Gotta be tidy. Gotta put that back where it came from, right? These ones go first. The important rules of keeping things tidy, peeps. All good, all good. Alright, let's rocket our way out of here. We're going to go into the Nether next. It was Overworld and Nether Errands, the name of this stream. We need to go into the Nether. Ichiron is here subscribing. The Gaming Jester subscribed. That Christopher for 54 months. My goodness me. My goodness me. Hey Sam F with the Prime. Thank you everyone for your tremendous support. It's always appreciated. The OSIB in chat. Welcome, dude. Hey Asuma, have you any advice for someone who just started streaming? Yep, just keep doing it, man, and enjoy it. Just stream consistently and enjoy it. And if you get further down the line and you start to think, oh, this might be for me, this might be what I want to do, then, you know, then's a good time to start seeking out some advice and taking things seriously. But the way you get started, you just do. You just go out there and you do it. Right, I actually need, funny enough, need some of these. Need some of those. Also need, don't know how many of these are going to use, but probably need a few of them. And, feel like I'm going to, actually I'm probably going to need all of that. Going to need some of this stuff. And I'll probably have everything else I need in a chest, so I think we can start with that and we can get stuff done. A some of those, says this innocent Solu. A some of these, a some of those. Exactly. Nafin MC says, Asuma, is there any software to start streaming? Yeah, I use Slobs. You could use that. Hale Watson says, do you have any advice for me? I'm moving for the first time on my own. I'm so nervous. Well, advice number one, don't just ask me alone. Ask people you know that have moved and look up for advice online, because, and when I say it, I mean, you know, like use a Google search or whatever. Just find lists or tips and tricks, all that kind of stuff, right? And think them through, because there's a lot of things that will catch you out. Now, when I moved out, there was all sorts of stuff where it was like, nothing major though. Like, you're not gonna like, oh my god, the house is gonna blow up because I didn't know about this thing, right? Like, you're probably not gonna run into something like that. But there's probably loads of little things that it's good to know. And I struggle to remember because it was a few years ago now. But like, I had a lot of help from my parents. You know, all these different things that you got to do that they would tell me about, and that was super helpful. But if you're actively like seeking out the advice, is what I'm saying, you're probably going to find some reasonable advice out there. Because right now, not much is coming to my mind. I'm so bad for this. Like, I got all these interests or whatever, but I'm not very good at retaining information, as you might have noticed. So, yeah, I don't know what to say really. Just because there's so much that you need to know. Like, there's legal stuff when you like work with your what do I even call them? Because I can't remember anything. I can't remember anything. I'm so useless. Jeez. Ask me about something else. Crepe says, X, do you remember the anti-piracy campaign? You wouldn't download a car. Would you download a car? 3D printers. Just saying, 3D printers. Why not? Retisum 1 is here with the Prime, and the T-Bog is here for 12 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Attorney, says Thick. Yeah, attorney's a lawyer, though, isn't it? Or... yeah, I don't know. Do you like pie or Pong more? Says Zatam. I like pie because I can eat it. Pong, you know, gaming's come a long way. It's not the most thrilling experience anymore. Yeah, we've got to repeat this little layout here. It's all going in that direction, and then those things every other. We'll do that first, I think. Solicitor, that might have been it, yeah. But anyway, you know, like when I was moving out, there was all sorts of stuff I was doing. You know, one thing that helps is like making a list of everything that you're moving. In fact, that would be the one solid advice you can apply to a lot of stuff that I live by, is making lists. Like don't rely too much on your own memory. That's what I've learned. I mean, I'm a shining example of this, aren't I? like right now, can't remember anything, but I can remember to write stuff down because you can't remember. Jeez, just so ironic, isn't it? Yeah, I remember making lists of like just there was so much stuff that needed to be done. I'd always keep it on a list so I didn't forget anything. And yeah, you can brainstorm some of that stuff yourself. Like you can think, okay, when I move, television, you know, TV license. If you've got an internet connection, make sure you got that sorted out at your new place, you know. This is like a free podcast, says Grey Wolf. Most podcasts are free, right? Like, I know you do pay for some out there, but all the ones I listen to are free. Actually, that's not true. There's one or two that I effectively pay for or support, you know, via Patreon, something like that. Don't forget food, says Innocent Soulwoo. Yeah, I'll be alright. I'll be alright. The Nine Gods is here for 53 months, saying, given how Minecraft is always changing and improving, are there any features from modded you'd like to see in the base game? Well, modded is quite a broad term because there's so many mods. I mean, I'll say the thing I say over and over again, I want to see inventory management addressed. I really do think this game needs an overhaul in how you handle items. There's so many of them now, it's kind of crazy. Kinda crazy. Just like Jay-Z. Okay, so we've got that going on. Now we want to kind of mirror what happens in that little space behind. What is a TV license, says Clubsy. Well, here in the UK, if you want to watch telly, you've got to have a TV license. If you stream Netflix and don't have a satellite like me, for example, you still actually have to have a TV license. I believe you have to have one if you've got a TV in your house. So, yeah, so I didn't think I'd be getting one, but then I learned that I needed a TV license, so I got one. Oh, it's the end of the world! Hey, I put a block up there. I totally put a block there, I'm sure of it. What are you going to do? You're fine. Hubris for your weird rules, says the Shinning Noah. I don't know how... Is a TV license weird? Like... I would have assumed that's something done in every country, right? Atropos says it's only if you watch live TV or BBC iPlayer, Netflix and catch up is okay. It is not. It is not okay when I looked it up about 3 years ago. If it's changed since, then okay, but don't get caught out. The rules are pretty pain in the bum. If you have a TV in your house, I believe you pay a TV license, was pretty much it. Lots of people are saying no now, so maybe it's just a UK thing. Yeah, I'd recommend go looking it up, because I looked it up 3 years ago and found out that it's sort of like, basically if you've got a TV, pay a TV license. Is essentially how it worked. It's a form of taxation, but there was no leniency or rules for streaming services then. It was just like, Nope, if you've got a TV, pay. Right, so obviously we're going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So just trying to remember the technique I did here. I actually went up top and ripped out a lot of netherrack first, and then realised that was kind of wasteful. So we'll be able to do a better job over this side this time. Gonna grab some lights. Gonna grab that. I need to make a couple more notes. What did we do? Oh yeah, that was it. Anyway, just making a note. Dark Commands 099 is here for 19 months. Welcome back, dude. Thank you for your subscription. Anyway, what does everyone think of taxes? That'll make a really interesting topic to talk about. Oh, you know, let's talk about filling out tax forms. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, getting a bit excited over here. I don't know, I thought, taxes, you know, every other word in chat at the moment is taxes. Let's see if anyone's got anything interesting to say about the old taxation. Oh, apparently TV license includes owning a laptop, a mobile, a tablet. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I remember looking at the rules and it was pretty much like, just pay the TV license if you're in a house. Evasion or avoidance? They're two different things, I guess, when it comes to taxes. Now, some people are saying something in chat that I could talk about, but I don't know if I really want to. Probably need to formulate my ideas a little bit more first, but we can go there a little bit, just a little bit. People saying like tax billionaires, tax millionaires. I mean, everyone pays tax and contributes, right? But I kind of personally have a hard time with seeing the logic behind why, when someone reaches a certain amount of wealth, they have to contribute more. I can see the benefits of it, but actually, do you know what? Like, when I say it out loud, it's not that I have a problem with. It's the attitude around it. Like, it's like billionaires seem to get villainized for being rich. That's kind of what I have a problem with. It actually makes a lot of sense to tax people that make more money. The more money you make, the more you can help contribute to society. Also, it'd be helpful if taxes were properly spent. Some people are suspicious of how tax money gets used. Tax money can obviously be spent in good and bad ways, no doubt in that. But yeah, like, I see this kind of like anti-billionaire sort of talk, and I can kind of get it. I can get it from like an emotional perspective. Like, it can, if you're struggling, it can be frustrating seeing other people succeed, especially if they had like a leg up in society that you haven't had access to, right? But as a blanket rule, there's always going to be exceptions, so I find it a bit difficult to, you know, see it that way, I guess. Who needs a billion, says Kodu Kuna. Great question. So, like, there's a sentiment, why do we need billionaires? Well, billionaires are also often entrepreneurial people, and having entrepreneurs creates a lot of innovation in society. There's a lot of things that get done because smart people work really hard to make them happen. You know, it's quite easy to think that if you just put people in charge of stuff, they'd figure it out. But it often takes innovation. It takes someone to be rogue and to try things that other people don't dare to do. You know? So it kind of like, people who have wealth and invest and do crazy things with it. When I say crazy, I mean like things to better society in some ways. Like, that's an element of the whole discussion. DJ Ankin says, but a billion? Who needs 1 billion? They're selfish. Eat the rich. That's the attitude that I'm talking about. You see, it's very hard to look out there in the world and understand, like, what would happen if you removed all the billionaires? Then what would things look like, right? You'd probably imagine things would be better for you or whatnot, but it might not be. Like I was saying, you know, Amazon, for example, I think we can all agree that Amazon is something that's extremely beneficial for us to use. So what would the world look like without Amazon? I mean, Amazon facilitates a lot of economic activity. And if you remove these innovative people who have lots of wealth and run businesses and all of this, yeah, things could look really different. They could look really, really different. Hey, little guy, you're okay, aren't you? Did you pick up netherrack? You did. You did. It's a really tricky topic, says SD Boston. Absolutely, it's tricky. One of the things I like to do is play devil's advocate with ideas, and someone points out that someone like Bill Gates gives a lot of money away to charity and whatnot. Now, I had a very different attitude when I was younger, and if someone had said that to me about Bill Gates, I'd be like, well, yeah, it's easy to give away a lot of money sitting from one of your many mansions, right? It's easier to give away money when you've got billions. And that's a fair point. That is a fair point. But also, the guy, like, you've got to take it individually. Bill Gates is clearly a very motivated individual for the benefit of humanity. If him having all that wealth and doing it is a good or a bad thing, it's kind of hard to say, because you can't look at a world that doesn't have Bill Gates and then go, let's see how it's different. Like, we've only got the one thing, so it's tricky to figure all this stuff out. Now I got chat talking right here. Now chat is it's going on it. I do not get this, says there shouldn't be any billionaires. When you get a certain amount of money, you should get a certificate that says you won capitalism. The rest should go to social projects. Right. Yeah, I've seen that one before, but there's always this idea that, you know, you just put money somewhere and it works, right? Like, money can be poorly spent. Ideas can fail. And so the risks that some entrepreneurs have to take, when they succeed, they become vastly wealthy. And the idea is that then the wealth that's in their hands is in potentially good hands, because they know how to innovate. They know how to get things done, right? I'm not saying that's a blanket rule for every billionaire or anything. I'm just trying to, like, show you the perspective a little bit more, that it's tricky to look at the world and say what is their value and actually know the answer. If you took away, let's say we took away all these innovative billionaires, right? And we put all the wealth of the world in the hands of elected officials. That could go horribly wrong, because the reason they've been given access to the wealth are for different reasons entirely. And maybe having people play the game and figure out how to win it is kind of like what you need. I don't know. But I just feel like these big statements and this anti-billionaire sentiment isn't particularly productive. I get it. I can kind of get why people see and think about things that way. It just seems to not really encompass the whole picture. Elon Musk is doing good for everyone, says iJaxEasy. Yeah, I used to be critical of Elon, as some of you would know, right? I'm very open to having my mind changed and my opinions changed, and even on these live streams a couple of years ago, I was like, oh, I don't get what the deal with this guy is. He's a billionaire, like, so what? But having learned more about him and read that book about him as well, I can understand, like, hang on a minute, this guy's like very driven to do things for the betterment of humanity. And if you understand how he runs his companies as well, like Tesla is publicly traded, but SpaceX isn't. That's actually how he wanted to keep Tesla. He never wanted shareholders, and it's one of the reasons you'll see him tweet things out and say ridiculous stuff from time to time, is because he's not very fond of having shareholders basically at his company. He doesn't want people to try and invest and make a buck off of it. He wants the company to pursue this goal of bettering things for our planet, right? Through renewable energy, through cars that don't pollute. And that's the reason he operates that way. And he's become incredibly wealthy because of how innovative the things he's doing are. So he's usually like a big exception to that whole like evil billionaires, right? Like a lot of people are quite fond of him. And he's like a great example. of when someone incredibly smart, because he is very, very smart, can thrive in this environment and contribute in a entirely different way. Let's read some of the noises in the ear. Defendo99 here with Cheers and Bits saying taxation is theft. I can't agree with that personally, because I think it's easy to say that and not realise where tax money goes. Like, you might be saying that sitting in the back of a car, you know, watching the stream on your phone, tweeting, driving down a road that taxation money is paid for. I am personally a big... I'm all for society having all of us chip in and contribute together. I think that's a great thing. Now, taxation doesn't mean that things get done wisely or well, but the idea should be that tax money gets spent on things that are for the benefit of all of us that might be difficult to organise through normal means. Might not be profitable to build roads everywhere, right? So taxation money might be able to help with that. So I don't see it as theft, but I can understand like being frustrated if you feel like your tax money, you know, maybe money's tight and it's like another thing draining on your pocket, on your wallet, and you think that the government isn't doing a very good job of it, but I think in essence the idea of it makes a lot of sense. We all get to pitch in and contribute towards public and social projects that are for the benefit of all of us. Oftentimes just indirectly, you know, if taxation money went to social programs to help homeless people or people in need, like, that benefits you indirectly by having a better society. You know, these things though, they might not be executed very well though, is the unfortunate thing. Sometimes all this stuff gets a bad rap when things don't get done quite right. Am I overdoing this here? I haven't really stepped back and looked at the balance yet. I feel like it's pretty kind of similar, so that's good. Elon strives for innovation and has a very cool way of getting to his goals. I feel like I read somewhat that Elon create... Ah, and then it went off the top. Then it went off the top. Okay, 100 Grind is here for 2 months saying, only tax purchases. If you work your butt off, why should other people tell you off for how much you have or make? Yeah, that's another really good point. Like, it's easy just to think, oh, you're a billionaire, like this or that or whatever about you, but you know, like in the game of life, it must be really difficult and a lot of hard work to get that amount of wealth. Some people do inherit it, no doubt about that, but yeah, I'm with you on that one. Like, having learned about what, you know, people like Elon Musk do, I kind of realise you're doing something like on a level that I can't even get near. Like, I could never do anything like what that guy does, right? And some people are born with that. Some people work hard for it. They educate themselves. Like, it's not easy to get $1 billion. It's not easy. Otherwise, we'd all have $1 billion, right? You can have $1 billion Asuma bucks though. I'll give you all $1 billion Asuma bucks. All right, they're worth nothing. Fawn of Ours here at Cheers and Bits saying, if you worked every single day making 5,000 a day from the time Columbus sailed to America to the time you were reading this tweet, you would not still be a billionaire and you would still have less money than Jeff Bezos makes in a week. Fascinating, yeah. Yeah, like the extraordinary amount of wealth. It is an extraordinary amount. But what, you know, what is he spending it on? What is he doing with it? I don't know. Is he doing good things for society? Is he not? I just think it's so hard to weigh these things up, because we don't live in a an environment where we can just, you know, put it in the simulator. What happens if we take Bezos out of the equation, right? Economic activity goes down. Everyone's not as well off overall. Like, things are so interconnected and tricky to figure out. It's something, all right. But, you know, it does seem like he has an extraordinary amount of wealth, but he's using it to do various things. I don't know too much about what he's using it for, but isn't he also trying to go to space? Do a kind of like SpaceX thing? Probably I don't know if he's as environmentally concerned as someone like Elon is, but yeah, you know, I'd have to go out there and learn a bit more about Bezos before I would just say, you know, these blanket statements just because of how much money he's got in his pocket, right? Right, Disturb Puppy with cheers and bits, saying the only way to make $1 billion is to exploit others, either through your employees, by inviting in things that exploit others. Disturb Puppy, thank you for the cheers and bits. Yeah, I mean, exploitation is kind of like part of the game, right? It's there at every corner. Compromise, you know, you're always going to have to offer up your time and your skills to earn a paycheck. Even in a more socialized society, you'd still be exchanging one thing for another, the exchange of goods, and it'll always be exploitation to some extent. Yeah, I can't really argue with that. People do get exploited in and along the path, right? That's the nature of the game. But what would it mean if Amazon didn't exploit its employees or its workers? What if we looked at it as like broad even split? Then all of a sudden every Amazon employee probably becomes a millionaire or a multi-millionaire, right? And then that might seem fair, all of us unfair. You'd be like, hang on a minute, you're working at Amazon, you're a multi-millionaire just because you work at Amazon. Then you could look at different people and what they contribute within the structure of Amazon. Some people higher up have like really important skill sets that make a lot of things happen. Some people lower down don't. There's no clean answer to any of this. Io Valene says J.K. Rowling didn't exploit anyone to make her billions, just really creative. Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting, because don't people who work in bookshops and who work in the factories that make books and print them, don't those people get exploited because they don't get a cut of the whole profit? So you look at what she does entirely differently, because it's a creative outlet. She writes a story. But you know, the movies, do people not get exploited? You know, the actors don't get paid the same as the cameramen or the caterers. All over the place, it's you know, life is just unfair and unbalanced all over the place. Figuring out what's truly equal and whatnot is really quite tricky. It's not an easy thing to just dive in and say you've got the answer, I think. Estelian says, wait, what? How is that exploitation? How would you define exploitation? Okay, so exploitation would be, from a more communist socialist perspective, would be the idea that you have workers and then you have bosses, and bosses make a lot of money and the workers are exploited because when they make products they don't get an even split, right? The idea should be that everyone gets an even split. You should be able to buy back what you create, which is, I think, kind of a little bit redundant when you realize that productivity creates an excess of wealth. You know, like innovation, technology, we don't produce a flat line of wealth. But anyway, so anyone who's within the structure of generating wealth and money, no one gets all the wealth and money in whatever play it is. If it's making a movie or running a company like Amazon, not everyone gets an equal split. So someone's getting exploited, right? I don't know who. I don't know who's getting exploited, but like that's the idea of exploitation, is it not? That someone in that equation is getting short-handed. And I found it really interesting comment that someone could look at J.K. Rowling being a billionaire for her creative efforts to come into a structure that generates a lot of wealth and money, and that through her creativity she wouldn't be seen the same way as someone like Jeff Bezos, who's built, worked and innovated to create the entire system that made him wealthy. Right, think about how big of a difference that is. I'm not coming at you with an answer here. I'm not saying what they said is wrong or right. I find it fascinating that you can look at those two things so differently. think about it. Jeff Bezos, I mean, there's these really amazing videos of him in the 90s getting sort of like picked on by this news presenter guy who's like a classic old school, oh, you young people, you computer nerds, you know, and all of this. Having one of those attitudes, like the kind of thing you'd see in an old 80s movie on a college campus, where like people who were good with computers and numbers were like frowned upon by jocks or whatever, that kind of thing. There's a video of him like sort of getting mocked by this presenter, and it's like he's working out of this this little I don't know, rented room or whatever, and Amazon is written on a bit of cardboard with a marker pen. Like, that's how he started. And you know, he went from that to where he is now through working his butt off. So it's like two different types of billionaires, someone who built an empire and someone who wrote a book. I'm not making any judgment on that, it's just fascinating to think how you would see those things so differently from one another. Let's catch up with these noises in the ear. We got official Jaden here with cheers and bits saying, hi again, sorry to interrupt your topic, it's gone over my head, but digging out your ceiling building right now. And do you like being called Shishwami by Hermit fans? Yeah, I love it. I don't mind it at all. Call me Shishwambam, call me whatever. It's all good. If you're calling me something, then you're probably over here enjoying what we do, so why would I complain? Thank you for your cheers and bits. Appreciate it. We got KBeck81 with the Prime, Soa by subscribing Paval here for 10 months. Thank you so much, Paval. Classified Chaos is here with cheers and bits saying, if you don't support the billionaires, stop buying from Amazon, Apple, or any type of car, beat the man. Classified Chaos, that is a statement I think about a lot. Like, I think people don't realise how much they're constantly participating in some of the things they might think they're against, right? And it comes down to one of those things, like, are you truly against it or are you not? You know, not judging anyone. I'm so aware of how, like, I might think, oh, this thing's bad, but you know, I kind of, I don't know, I don't like polluting the environment, but I drive my car, you know. There's a lot of that in life. There's a lot of what do you call it, hypocrisy. It's always called hypocrisy, right? But I think there's a lot more of it about than people realise in our own lives. Right, let's catch up. Tim and Nasty is here with cheers and bits saying, exploitation goes both ways. Where I work, people like they're being paid $2, although they are paid twice the minimum wage. Tim and Nasty, I don't think it would work two ways, because if it did, if the employees were exploiting the people above them in the structure, then that would mean that they make more money than the company does, right? And then the company would go under. I'm not sure if that's what you meant or not, but it didn't quite sound right to me. But appreciate your input. Something to think on. Paval here with some gifted subs saying, not saying anything, gifting a sub to Grimborn, Half Fury, Ollie Beautiful, Sinking Bull 88, Eric the Evil. Paval, thank you for gifting those subs, appreciate it. Wash Riders here with the Prime, and we got Quiet of the Stream here with cheers and bits saying, but do you think billionaires work 100 million times harder than you though? This is where taxes come in. The value given to people for their work is hardly ever objectively correct. We decide what things are worth, but we're not always right. Tax seeks to balance out the perfection of our value judgments to make sure everyone can meet a living standard. I personally think of taxation more as being about public utility than about balance, but I see your point, and it makes sense that you can use tax in that way. Now, when it comes to billionaires working 100 million times harder than me, probably even bigger than that, right, the actual number, but I get your point. I think about skills as well. Like, I've done hard work to get to where I am today. Like, I have my own house that I work from, and there was a time when I honestly couldn't ever see myself affording a house. And I grinded to get to where we are today on YouTube. I worked incredibly hard, but I worked incredibly hard at playing a computer game and, you know, finding my inner creativity and creating entertainment for people. Now, the value of that in society is probably very individualistic if you enjoy what I do. Provides you with some entertainment. And there's other things that come before entertainment. So what if someone comes up with a life-saving drug, or someone comes up with critical infrastructure for keeping the lights on, keeping the electricity flowing around, so everyone can have electricity in the house. There are so many things that have different weights and values. If a billionaire gets rich figuring out how to defeat cancer entirely, every type of cancer, like, couldn't you imagine that that would almost be a great reward? Would we? In fact, if we could put up a bounty, if you destroy all types of cancer, you figure it out, you got the pill, you give it to someone, no one gets cancer, okay? We can mass produce it. Do you think about all the suffering cancer's caused? Would that person not be, would you be happy with them being a billionaire? Because that, to me, sound like a pretty good trade-off. Now, that's not a statement about, oh, it's alright for a billionaire to be a billionaire. It's just a thought experiment, you know? I may have worked hard with some of my time. There was a point in my life when I didn't work hard at all. Jeff Bezos might have worked hard every minute of the day since he was 10 or whatever, but like, the skill set that you have, some things provide more society than others. I think Amazon has provided a lot more to society than I ever have, so maybe it's provided 100 million times more to society, right? X, you ain't being realistic here, says Alvin Glarp. I might not be. It might have been a terrible idea. I'm just saying stuff off the top of my head, right? But it's an interesting thought experiment, is it not? Maybe a good answer to that is a way to point out what's terrible about that thought experiment. But it's an interesting thought nonetheless, because if you could make a box with a button on it that says create a billionaire, cure cancer, you probably would press it. Probably would press it. Oh jeez. Okay, BB Girl is here with the cheers and a bit, saying, so about the tax situation, the billionaire situation, what do you think about Amazon not paying taxes? Yeah, that always sounds disgusting. I'm very aware of Amazon, Apple, Google, tax dodging, finding ways to move money around so they don't pay tax in countries. Seems to me like that's really unethical and not right, and it doesn't seem like there's much of an excuse to say that, oh no, we actually need to do that to make the company run. I think that stuff across the board seems really, really fishy to me, and I think they should pay their part and not hide and move their money around in tax havens. Snuffle Upegus is here with the Prime. Bert TF2 with the Prime. Sai1 with the Prime. W with the Prime as well. Glaciers05 with the Prime. Stony also with the Prime. We got cheers and bits noises in the ear from L7G7 with cheers and bits saying tax law, at least in the United States, is generally very, very in favour of the rich. The rich do not pay the same proportion of their income as poor people for very few reasons. One being capital versus wage tax, and the other being resources to pay taxes in other countries for money and you make in the United States. A book about tax and law that I recommend is Triumph of Injustice. I like the sound of that. I'm gonna look that book up. Thanks for the recommendation. Hopefully I can get it in audio form. Wow, this program does not like me copying text from it. Let's see if I got that on the clipboard. Okay, it actually looks like it worked. Cool, thanks for the tip. One thing I would say is, when we talk about like taxing and how much the rich pay and all that, right, it's very easy to go, no, the rich pay more tax than us because we, you know, I might pay 1 grand and someone who's rich might pay 100 grand, right? I might only make 10 grand a year and pay 10%. They might make millions and pay 0.1%, right? Like, I think it's very important when we talk about that stuff to be articulate in how we're dealing with the numbers, because they, you know, an average person compared to an average rich person, they pay more in quantity, but in percentage they might end up paying less. And I've watched quite a few little videos, essays, all that kind of stuff about how taxation works and where the money goes and what proportions are paid at different tax brackets, and it gets kind of convoluted, and I think it's really important to be articulate with that stuff, because you want to frame the numbers correctly so that like there's no confusion about what's being talked about. Because I think it makes sense that if you earn more and you have more money to contribute, that you should contribute more, and that it's not a flat rate for everyone. Tim Nasty is here with cheers and bits saying, what I'm referring to is people not working hard enough. you are paid for how much you work. So if you get paid that much to not work that hard, that's stealing technically. Tim Nasty, I would say play a little bit of devil's advocate with your own thoughts there, because life's not fair and some people get rich doing stuff that isn't that hard compared to other stuff. For example, you know, in the field that I'm in right now, I said earlier, I worked hard to get to where I am. I've grinded. So have so many other channels and not gotten anywhere near where I am, and some have gotten way beyond where I'm at. And knowing what it takes to create this kind of content as well, I can look at other channels and sometimes understand intuitively, or maybe, you know, guesswork to some extent, like a guesstimate. But through my own experiences, I can look at other content and understand how much time and effort goes into it. And so I know there is a lack of fairness on YouTube. I've seen small channels grind away, get nowhere near where I am. I've seen big channels with content that I know doesn't take a lot of effort to produce. That's not a criticism or a judgment on those channels, but I know that imbalance exists, and it exists throughout society. So I think it's really difficult to think that it can be fair. Like, it's such a difficult thing to look at and see as if it's just going to be fair by default. So, and also just trying to weigh up if people are working hard or not can be a little tricky, but yeah. Anyway, where are we up to? Zinatio is here with the Prime, and Soabi is gifting a sub to Amber Burgers. Thank you so much for gifting that sub. Very kind of you to do so. It is appreciate. Appreciate ever so much. Winnie T4 says, life's number one rule, life's not fair, deal with it. Yeah, it is not fair. Deal with it sounds a bit harsh, but it's more like, you know, take that in and realising it. Like, we want to make life fairer for everyone. That's a great goal to have, and it's the direction to go towards. But understanding where things are fair and not fair is, there's a lot of unfairness all around us in all directions. Zinate is also here with a donation saying, if a magical cure for cancer was developed, it should be mass produced and cheap, not made into a profit making product. Unfortunately, this is not usually the case, and researchers who develop it are not typically the ones profiting. Yes, Zinate, we're going to go right into a whole other topic there, but what I would say is maybe take the time to seek out people who have a different view on that to you. I remember listening to a podcast with someone who was inside the medical system, who was one of these people that manages these companies and makes money through developing medicine. Now, I'm not going to say that I agreed with everything they said, or now I see it their way, but I took the time to listen to them, and I realised there's actually a lot of elements that make a statement like that kind of tricky. Like, it's quite easy to think, oh, we can just do stuff and make it cheap for everyone and get rid of these millionaires, but they kind of pointed out like a lot of factors that were pretty fair arguments for basically saying it's not that straightforward. One of them that I remember that made a lot of sense was how these companies go to different countries with their medicines and have to offer up contracts and whatnot to produce medicines in different countries, and what tends to happen is other countries can lowball American countries, and they talk about how they offset the costs by producing medicine cheap in one country and then charging way more money in America. And, you know, like, there's so much complexity there that we ain't got time to get into. But it really got me thinking how the dynamics of how you deal with different countries as a company to sell your product somewhere then affects where you need to make money elsewhere. And this guy was basically saying the reason why the American situation is like it is with the cost of medicine is because of how it is in other countries, that they actually lose money in other countries due to how law works over there, and it's incredibly messy and complex. And yeah, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with you. Just I'm not even saying I understood everything or I got my eyes on the picture. I know what's going on. That one podcast was very eye-opening and really fascinating. And I can't remember, I think it might have been on Mindscape, would be my guess. Or it might have been Sam Harris, one of those two. And it probably wasn't Mindscape, actually, it's way more sciencey. It's probably Sam Harris. But anyway, you know, listening to people in different worlds to what you are is just so eye-opening and interesting. And yeah, Enigma at the door says, I'd love to hear what's the name of the podcast. I'm going to guess it was a Sam Harris one, probably from a couple of years ago, but that's all I can remember right now. Yeah, at some point, I need to like take notes. So when I chat to all of you, I need to build like a reference library. I got a little bit of one on my website, but it's not that great. But yeah, it'd be nice to know where to point you to, but unfortunately I can't do that for you right now. We're gonna go raid Hypno, who's playing some modded Minecraft. So if you want some modded, Hypno got you covered right there. That's it from me. Thank you ever so much everyone for watching. I hope you've been entertained. Hope you enjoyed it. Had a good time hanging out and all of that. And yeah, thank you to all of my patrons as well. And now you can hit raid in the chat. So hit the follow button as well, hit the raid button. And I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.